Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first video for Wonders for Unit 3, Week 4. So I am in my teacher screen for Wonders, so I'm going to load that for you. We're going to take a look at just a few things here this morning in our presentation. So we see our essential question here. How can words lead to change? And we have a picture here that says listen and read. I opened it in the wrong version right now. So interesting picture. Take a look. Here's the next one of our graphic organizer. We're going to be looking at main idea with some topics, a topic, a main idea, and some details. And I'm just going to run through. Actually, I want to open this. I don't think I can actually play this with audio for you, but you have this on your side. And let's see, I think I'm going to close this part out for the moment. I'll just come back to the main screen here. So, you do have your term book, phonics and spelling, and grammar. So what I'd like to do is go over a few of the resources that you should be using this week. I'm going to go ahead and click on my Reading Writing Workshop book and show you where you're going to find some of those things. Now, this whole thing happens around page 205. I'm just going to go right there. So you'll see again, here's your Reading Writing Workshop. It says, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. This is a photo of Nelson Mandela. You can listen and learn here. You have all these options in your Wonders platform. Very key page to know. Here's all your vocabulary. Address, as in someone giving a speech. Divided, haste, opposed, perish, proclamation, shattered, and tension. Take a look at your vocabulary. Get familiar with these words. They're going to be today's first assignment in the Your Turn book. You have a short story here. It's a biography called Words for Change. Listen or read it. It shouldn't be too long. It's about 4 pages, 2 sides. And think about how that has to do with how words change things. As you go through the Reading Writing Workshop book, you will come across the reread section, author's point of view. Now, this is going to be key because in the graphic organizer in the Your Turn book, you will need to take your author's point of view and use this organizer for the anthology story about Abraham Lincoln. Okay. Biography. Again, the Your Turn book is going to have a page about biography. Here's some key details for what is a biography. Our vocabulary strategy is going to be Latin and Greek suffixes. In today's Class Dojo class story, I left some IXL activities to help you work with Latin and Greek words and Greek meanings. Then we have some right about the text. This won't be until next week, but you can take a look at this as well. All right, I'm going to close that out. Yes, I want to leave. I'm going to go to the literature anthology and show you the Abraham Lincoln story. Let's say we start about 240. I actually don't know what page it starts on, but right here. So this is our Abraham Lincoln story. I don't believe there's anything before this that we need. Nope. So here's Abe's Honest Words. This is the longer story. So again, it will read it to you if you so wish, or you can read it on your own. I would probably do a combination of both. And when you reach the end of this story, you'll see here on page 261 where you have the details to author's point of view. This is what you're going to do in the Your Turn book. So you're going to have to read this story and possibly even go back to the Reading Writing Workshop book about details and author's point of view. We have the smaller text here, a new birth of freedom, Abraham Lincoln again, and it should be pretty short. And in fact, it is quite short. So it's just these two sides. That's it for your anthology for the next 2 weeks. Let's get into some of the other things. So I'm going to come back to my home screen. And let's take a look at the Your Turn book. So I gave a tutorial that I just posted to Loom about how to use the interactive version here. And I'm going to do a little bit of that with you. So this is page 131 in your Turn book. It's probably not numbered in my online version. And it says, use a word from the box to answer each question, then use the word in a sentence. So you have two parts. Pick the word and then use the word in a sentence. What word might be used to describe mental strain? You have haste, opposed, divided, perish, shattered, proclamation, tension, or address. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to be tension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to my type box, and I'm going to click on the T. I'm going to come up here to the line. I'm going to try to come a little higher, see if it lets me. I guess that's as high as I get to be. And I'm going to say tension. I'm not worried about whether it's on the line or not. I am just going to keep typing my sentence. So then I'm going to use the word in a sentence. So here's a teacher one. Teaching online. Oh, I see what it does. Teaching online can cause some tension. In fact, I'm going to take my cursor and bring it down here and start here. I'm not worried if the line goes through your sentence. I can still read it. Teaching online can cause tension. Maybe your sentence is something like learning online can cause tension. Anyway, you need to figure out what word they're talking about and then use a sentence. Make your own sentence using that word in it. You have 8 to do. If you choose to do this interactively, make sure you save regularly. The arrow button here will give you the next page. Like I said, be ready for this. Here's your fluency for the week, the rest of the story. Then you have comprehension for the fluency story. Here's your genre text features. It should be about biography, so go back to your reading writing workshop book if you need to. Latin and Greek suffixes. This doesn't look too hard. Plurals and suffixes. Now sometimes plurals can get a little tricky. Go back to your book. Draft model. Looks like we're going to be writing some kind of paragraph here. And then finally the right to source, which will be the last page of the Your Turn book for week 4. Okay, and those of you picking up a packet today, you're going to get the packet for week 5, which will start in about 2 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out and move on to the spelling. I'm going to open the interactive version, expand my screen. Now, so for my students who've seen the spelling before, you're like, what is this, Ms. Camargo? Well, I don't ever print this page. I start here or here. So for plurals, there it goes. We're going to be looking at how do you make plurals. Most of the times it's just an S, unless it ends in a Y, and then oftentimes it goes IES, and then sometimes there is no plural. So we're just going to be going over a bunch of different plurals this week. So here for ranch, I would come up and find ranches with an ES. So you could technically take your pencil here and say, all right, ranches. You could come here and you could do this, and then come here and do this, although this is not my favorite way. I want to give you your options. And I'm going to show you a way I would prefer. Instead of doing that, I would take the type. I would bring it up here. Yes. Bring my line over here. Just like that. You'd go through the whole page. Excuse me. It says save to my binder. Always click on the save button. And then I would turn my pages. And you do need to make the paragraph here. On page 6 is technically like a post test for spelling words. You don't have to do the first or last page. If you wanted to write the words on the line, that is totally acceptable with me. All right, so I'm going to close this out for spelling and go to grammar. Open the interactive version. And we have some linking verbs. Why did I think this was something else this week? Let's see what we have. Yes, and subject-verb agreement. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Read each sentence and underline the linking verb. Write it on the line provided. You always have some definitions up here. A linking verb does not show action. A linking verb connects, or a linking verb links or connects a subject to a noun or an adjective in the predicate. Linking verbs are usually forms of be, as in an, is, are, was, and were. Other linking verbs include look, seem, appear, become, feel, grow, smell, and taste. So the refrigerator was new. Read each sentence and underline the linking verb and write it on the line. Now, see this part right here is really, really helpful. So I'm going to go down to the bottom of my page, select the line, because I'm not a big fan of the pencil. And I'm going to go here to was, and I'm going to use a nice line to underline it. Then I'm going to go to type. And I'm going to, I think this is the hardest part of getting it to line up. And I'm going to say was. I don't care if the line goes through it. That is totally acceptable. I can read it. Save it. Close it. You have linking verbs. This is what I saw most of. Tense and agreement of linking verbs. Subject-verb agreement. Proofreading. And a short little quiz. All right, guys. So you are now in Unit 3, Week 4. We have 2 weeks to finish this, all the work and the reading in this selection. So don't wait to the end, and keep up the great work, okay? We'll talk with you and hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.